Here is Elvis.
This is not a test. This is rock and roll. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fun. I hope it's fun. Here we are again, and as you can see, my forehead has got sunburnt. Silly boy. I'll never learn, will I? Yes. I sat out in the sun for a few minutes, and this is what happens. We're not used to the sun in Ireland, you see. That's the problem. Right. You're very, very welcome to Elvis, the Ultimate Fan channel. And Sandra P says you've got to wear a hat. Yes, I should have been wearing a hat. You're right. So hello to everybody that's joining me live. I really do appreciate your company on a Sunday evening. It's a Sunday evening in Ireland. But wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. And if you're in Australia, you're having a lovely Monday. And I'm lucky today because this is a holiday weekend and we have no work tomorrow. Well, I don't have any work tomorrow. It's a holiday. So I'm in holiday mood, definitely. Thank you, Mrs. EAP Elaine. That's very, very nice of you to say that. So what's coming up? Well, as you can see, Graceland sale, of course, in inverted commas, rumbles on. I will be getting to that in a few minutes. We've also got an underrated Elvis song, This Day in Elvis History, live poll. I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to vote on that. I want as many people. What holiday? Sandra P says. Well, it's just a what we call a bank holiday actually in Ireland. It's a June holiday. It's the first Monday in June is a holiday in Ireland. So yes, right. Sorry about that. Yeah, we also have a live poll, a song I wish Elvis had recorded. That's a song that somebody can send in and say, I wish Elvis had recorded this. I'm open to all sorts of ideas, and I normally put a link below to the song so you can sort of listen to it, and then you can leave your comments to tell me, yes, I think Elvis could have recorded that, or no, I don't think Elvis would have recorded that. Elvis at the piano, we introduced that a few weeks ago. Caption this photo. Always have a lot of fun with that. I normally post a photograph on the community tab on this channel on a Tuesday-ish, and then people leave their comments. And the one that gets the most thumbs up is the one that I read out. I give a shout out to that person. I read out a few of the other ones that didn't quite make the cut, but the ones that I thought were funny. Smoking hot photo, that goes without saying. And I do actually harvest a few of the smoking hot photos from our Discord Elvis photo of the day thread. So if you haven't joined our Discord channel yet, please do. And where is it? I think I've got a little thing here that shows you. Yes, there it is. Discord, link in the description box below. So if you haven't joined our Discord channel yet, please do. And there's an invite link in the comment section below, or the description box below this this video. Right, so without further ado, these photographs came in during the week, and thanks very much to the person that sent them to me. The meditation, not the meditation garden. I'm going to come to the meditation garden in a second. This is a photograph from the lovely, I'll just get rid of that Discord for a second so that we can see the whole photograph. This came in from the lovely Danielle. She was in Memphis visiting Graceland, and she sent a whole load of beautiful pictures of her visit to the Discord channel, and she also signed the wall for me. So as you can see, between the brickwork there is Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel, Steve Francis. So Danielle, thanks very, very, very much for doing that. It's very, very kind. And speaking of walls, this is what I meant to show you as well. The meditation garden wall isn't looking too good. In fact, it's behind a whole load of chipboard or whatever you want to call that, hardboard. And as you can see from a picture there, and a closer look as well from the side, not looking too good, unfortunately. They're obviously carrying out, I suppose, reconstruction work. I suppose you can see the ladder up against it as well. So things need repairing, I suppose. That's that's all I can say. But it's not a nice thing to see, unfortunately. I must ask Danielle, actually, was that up when she was there? So, yeah. So, yes, without further ado, we go to the quiz. And as promised, earlier on in the week, when I put out the trailer on the various social media platforms and on the Discord channel and so forth, and on here, it is a movie. The questions are all about a movie. But which movie? Yes. Well, this week it's about Roustabout. So how well do you know Roustabout? Let's see how many in the comments know. Yeah, Rebel Vegan says maybe maintenance. Yes, it's some sort of maintenance, but not entirely sure what maintenance. Looks like it's to protect the stained glass windows. Yes. Timothy Lee says, love Roustabout. Right, well, Timothy, you're going to do well in this then, if you love Roustabout. Let's see what else, if anybody's going to comment on Roustabout. How long is it since you've seen Roustabout? No, Dave, I don't think she was. I don't know where you get that from. Anyway, I think you're mixing her up with another extra, I believe. Vincenzo says, looks like it needs a touch-up. Yeah. Doreen, hi Doreen, says, one of my favourites. Sadly, they can't fix things in the dark, Steve. That obviously makes very much sense. Yes, they have to screen it off while they're working on it. Where's Dylan? Oh, Dylan's here. Don't you worry. Yeah. Dave is going to be helping me with the moderation, and he's going to be telling me who is the first person to get the question right. Nancy says she loves Roustabout as well. Great. Okay. Barbara Stanwyck was in Roustabout. Yes, she was. Correct. So, question number 1. Roustabout. And it's a question on one of the songs. And it is, who wrote Little Egypt? Jenny O'Connell says, haven't seen Roustabout for years. Uh-oh. Hello, Paul. Paul says, greetings all. Edwina English says, greetings from Texas. Hi, Texas. John Rowley says, don't know. Aha! We have a few people saying it already. I thought that was quite a difficult one, actually. Duncan's got problems there with his predictive text by the looks of it, but I know who he meant. Right, and yes, thanks to Dave. I'm going to do green today, by the way. This multicolor pen, I'm going to do green. Right, yeah, it was actually Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. And I'm going to give that to Brian Roberts. Well done, Brian. Very, very good. John Rowley says, I should have known. Bossa Nova coming in with Liberty and Stoller. I know what happens sometimes. It's like predictive text, isn't it? Or you type so fast that it comes out strange. Helen says, well done, Brian. Right, here we go. Brian, you get this funny jingle.
Y'all listen to me, I'm good. I'm good. Yes, I know that voice you hate.
I might just leave this one run for one more week, and I might get another one next week. Right, so question number 1 goes to Brian. This next one is a multiple choice question, okay? So, because I mean, if I didn't give you choices, it would be very, very difficult. What position did the soundtrack LP reach on the Billboard album chart? And was it number 4, number 10, or number 1? There you are. What do you think? Timothy Lee, Elvis Nation, Mike M, John Rowley. Very quick, people. Very, very quick. Brian Roberts says 10. Helen Murray says 10. Okay. Well, believe it or not, it was a very, very successful soundtrack album. And it was number 1. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that Dave is just saying it as well. I think it was... just Timothy Lee, Pippin, Brent at the post there. So, well done, Timothy. Number 1.
Y'all listen to me. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, I know that voice you ain't.
He was very good in Roustabout because it went to number 1. Right. Another question, actually, on... and I'm going to give you multiple choice. What was track 5, side 1 of the original LP? Was it Hard Knocks, Wheels on My Heels, or It's a Wonderful World? So we've got track 5, side 1, Hard Knocks, Wheels on My Heels, or It's a Wonderful World. Now let's see who comes up with the right answer. Susan says Wheels on My Heels. John Rowley says Hard Knocks. Duncan says It's a Wonderful World. Yeah, a lot of people saying It's a Wonderful World. That wonderful tracking shot, all in one, almost all in one take. They could have just put Elvis and Joan Freeman in a seat and just done rear projection like they did on GI Blues with the cable cars. But no, they decided to film it live. And yes, well done, Brent from Elvis Nation. Brent, you were first with It's a Wonderful World. So you're pretty good.
Y'all listen to me. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yes, I know that voice you ain't.
Yes. And another multiple choice question. I like giving you these multiple choice questions because, you know, it kind of just helps along the way a little bit. And what I'm going to say to you is, how long did the original LP run for? Was it 20 minutes and 5 seconds, 25 minutes and 18 seconds, or 32 minutes and 3 seconds? There you are. 20 minutes, 5 seconds, 25 minutes, 18 seconds, 32 minutes, 3 seconds. Okay. Mike M says 25:18. Sandra P says 32:3. Wow. Okay. Well, you're not going to believe this. It was a very short LP. It was only 20 minutes and 5 seconds long. So just over 10 minutes each side, which is incredibly short, really, when you think about it. So I am going to have a look to see who was the first to give me. Manfred Baumer. Hello, Manfred. Yes, 25. I'm going to give you that. Well done. Elvis Nation said it was too short. Yeah, I know, because it was a good soundtrack. Yeah. Well done, Manfred.
Y'all listen to me. I'm good. I'm good. Yes, I know that voice you ain't.
It'd be interesting, actually, to look at the length of other soundtrack LPs. I might do that one day. I might do 6 questions and give you the length, and you've got to give me the lengths of all 6 of the soundtracks. I would imagine that Blue Hawaii was quite a long one because that had 14 tracks. King Creole, another one, would probably have been quite long. Right. Here we go. I love these. This is Complete the Lyrics This is a song from Roustabout. Which song is it going to be, folks? Right, here we go. Lyrics. This big wide world is a clown. What's the rest of the line? This big wide world is a clown. People are wrecking their brains now singing the song. Well, Brian Roberts looks like he's in there again. With his nose painted red, John Rowley, yeah. Dave said Brent. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, Brent, if I've done you a disservice. Let's have a look. I don't actually see Brent there, I must admit. Although that doesn't mean I could be missing it. I see Timothy Lee with his face. Then I see Brian Roberts with his nose painted red. John Rowley. I don't actually see Brent. Dave, you must be seeing things. So, yeah, I don't know. So I'm seeing Brian with his nose. Well done, Brian. That's what it is. It's this big wide world is a clown with his nose painted red. Brian is doing really well. Really, really well. Well done. Well, actually, everybody's doing very, very well. Not just Brian, but Brian seems to be quite quick on the draw tonight. Okay, so sixth and final question. This might trip a few up. And it... Oh, sorry, I didn't give Brian this, did I?
Y'all listen to me, I'm good. I'm good. Listen, know that voice you ain't.
Susan says Brian's been doing his homework. Yes, he has. But then again, yeah, I don't know. Dylan might be sitting the quiz out, actually. Maybe he isn't too good on Roustabout. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Say hi, Dylan, if you're in the chat. So anyway, this might trip a few people up simply because it is who sang backing vocals on the title track. Okay? Who sang backing vocals on the title track? I thought about doing that as a multiple choice, but then I changed my mind. Mike M, Brian Roberts, Duncan Campbell, Manfred. Okay. A lot of people saying Jordan Ayres. Although Helen's covered herself by saying Jordan Ayres ? Paul Gansky says the Mellow Men. That is the correct answer. But unfortunately, Paul, you weren't the first one, believe it or not, because it's that man again, Brian Roberts. Yeah, it's the Mellow Men that's actually sang on Roustabout. So, yeah, it's a very, very good week for Brian. And this could be the last time you hear this jingle for a while.
Y'all listen to me, I'm good. I'm good. Listen, know that voice you ain't.
Because I might change it next week. Okay, we seem to have lost Dylan, and maybe he's been called away. I said to Dylan, I said, say hi on the chat if you're there, but I don't see it. Haven't watched Roustabout in a while, says Vincenzo. Yeah, it's well worth a watch, I think. Anyway, Brian is on fire. Well done. Yes. Hat trick for Brian, says Dave. Yeah. Thanks for modding, Dave. Mike M, y'all listen to me, I'm good, and then loads of laughs. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll play it one more time.
Y'all listen to me, I'm good. I'm good. Listen, know that voice you ain't.
Now, there you go. We might put that one to bed, and I've got to come up with another funny jingle. If you want to send in a funny jingle, you can. The only thing is, it can't really have music behind it because I will probably get caught for copyright if it has. So it kind of has to be a sort of just a voice one like that. Yeah, Dylan was here before the show started. Yeah, but we seem to have lost him, unfortunately. Though he is still on in the call in the voice channel. So yeah, because we were actually going to go to Dylan. I think he was going to have another one of his Elvis tales. So don't know, or maybe he. Maybe, as I say, maybe he was just called away at short notice. Now, we are going to do the topic, okay? And then I'll do the poll, okay? Mrs. EAP says, I've got a couple more, Steve. We'll send next week. Great. Okay, that's good. Jingles. I'm all for jingles. Graceland sale rumbles on. Now, I'm going to ask you to give me your opinion on this in a minute, because a self-proclaimed Nigerian scammer, in inverted commas, proudly took credit for the failed attempt to auction off Elvis Presley's Graceland mansion, the media told us during the week. The ownership of the Memphis property was thrust into doubt earlier this week after a mysterious company named Norsany Investments and Private Lending LLC claimed the right to auction off Graceland, voted the most popular museum in America in 2023. Okay, so it has been reported earlier this week that a person has been corresponding via email admitting to being the ringleader of the plot. And I'm quoting the person here when they say, "We figure out how to steal," the alleged thief said. "That's what we do." The ringleader told the outlet this crew preys on the dead, the unsuspecting, and the elderly, especially those from Florida and California. So that's nothing really to be proud of, is it? And that's nothing really to be boastful about. Yeah, okay. We use birth certificates and other documents to discover personal information to aid in their illicit schemes to steal property. The email address it was corresponding with is alleged to have matched an address used in court documents by Norsany Investments and LLC Private Lending, the company behind the attempt to foreclose on the property. I'm quoting again here. "I am the one who creates trouble," the writer said in his email. I had fun figuring this one out, and it didn't succeed very well," they added. No, it didn't. The emailer claimed to be based in Nigeria, but wrote in Luganda, a Bantu language spoken in Uganda, and broken English. To add more mystery to the case, the court filings appear to have been written in fluent English. Alrighty. And this, again, is what they said. "Yo, client, don't have nothing to worries," the person wrote. "Win for her," and for is spelt F-I-R. Then the writer added, "She beat me at my own game." Well, I don't think it was a case of Riley beating you at a game. She just filed against the lawsuit. So I don't know. The case still has many unanswered questions, including whether Norsany Investments and Private Lending exist. For instance, reports that phone numbers listed in court documents for the company are not in service, while addresses listed by the company are those of post offices. So, not to sound too boastful here, but I did say in last week's live show that there was more to it than met the eye, and I still say there probably is more to it than meets the eye. So I think it'll rumble on for a few more weeks or months. I just had a feeling last week, and when I asked most people, they said no, they didn't think there was any more to it than met the eye. But then again, maybe there isn't. They're just scammers, and they were trying to get money that wasn't theirs. So with no further ado, I am going to do the poll, and it's very, very simple. You'll see it on the screen in a second, and I'm asking this question, and the question I'm asking is, do you think the emails from the Graceland for sale scammer are genuine? Okay? Or is it just somebody messing around? Do you think the emails from the Graceland for sale scammer are genuine? Yes, no, not sure yet, need to know more. So I'm going to start that poll now. How's that? Do you think the emails from Graceland for sale scammer are genuine? Yes, no, not sure yet, need to know more. So that's the poll, and that was the topic for this week. I would be delighted if you would ring in and tell me what you think of those emails and the whole sorry business of it, boasting that they prey on the dead and the elderly and unsuspecting people. I'm not too sure why, especially from Florida and California. Sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? Why Florida and California? Using birth certificates and other documents to discover personal information to aid in their illicit schemes to steal property. Somebody actually made a good point, actually, saying that, you know, if it hadn't been Graceland, it would have been somebody that couldn't afford the legal team that obviously Graceland have. They might have got away with it. It would have been obviously a smaller sort of pot they were looking for. They wouldn't probably have been looking for 3.8 million, but they would have been looking for quite a bit of money, I believe. And they could have actually got away with it. So I'm not too sure whether... Did anybody see Dylan yet? He is on Discord, so I might just open up the calls and see if Dylan is actually there. Hi, Dylan.
Hello.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. I've been here the whole time, which is weird. But yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Very, very good. I was getting a little bit worried because we've got a special jingle for you this week.
We have.
So without further ado, folks, I'm going to do this for you. Dylan's Elvis Tales. Do you like that?
Very wistful, isn't it? Very dreamy.
Yeah, wistful is right. Yeah, I like it. And I like the little doobity-doobity-doo at the end of it as well.
Yeah, that's very musically sound, is what that is.
Yeah. Now,
well done yourself.
What was I going to say to you? I was going to say, you have then got a tale for us.
I do, indeed.
Right. Fire ahead, young sir.
Alright, so this is kind of like a current thing, if that makes any sense. So there's this auction site called Gotta Have Rock and Roll.
What's it called?
Gotta Have Rock and Roll. All
Okay.
one word.
Okay.
And on that site, they are selling what is supposed to be Elvis Gibson Jet 145 from Loving You.
Okay.
Which is if you've seen Loving You, which I'm sure everyone has, it's in the Got a Lot of Living to Do there.
Right.
So it's that instrument that they're selling.
Yeah,
Now,
he does got a lot of living to do twice, doesn't he? He does it once with the guitar and then once just dancing at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's the first one.
All right.
It's the first one. And now I've got my doubts about it, and I'll tell you for why. It doesn't look like the colours are right on it.
Okay.
But to be fair, I did think about this as well. It is 67 years old this year. So I mean, it could have faded the colours.
Right. The one that's for sale looks paler.
It looks a bit dodgy.
It looks paler, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know whether they've just got a J145 and said, all right, this is Elvis's instrument, let's sell it.
And does it say anything about a certificate of authenticity?
I don't believe so, but there's pictures of Elvis using it that they've put on it.
Okay. Now, another thing you have to take into account, of course, is the color timing and the color saturation of the film. You know, when I watch Loving You, it's a very highly saturated movie, isn't it? The colors are very saturated. I'm not sure whether it's Technicolor or whatever it is. It might be. I'm not sure what color process they used, but you've got to take that into account as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But that's a good one. That's a good one. And just give us the name of the auction house again.
Gotta have rockandroll.com, all one word.
Gonna have rock and roll.
No, gotta. Gotta.
Gotta have rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody wants to check out that gotta have rockandroll.com, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. They can see that. Do you want to put your opinion on this email from the so-called scammer, the Graceland sales scammer?
I mean, I find it very weird that A, they're admitting to it, and B, they're boasting about it.
Yeah.
Why would you boast about something like that? Is my question.
Exactly. Not only that, if you're up to no good, you normally like to keep it quiet, don't you? But I mean, boasting that they prey on the dead, the unsuspecting and elderly, especially those from Florida and California, is kind of it's revealing too much, isn't it?
It's a bit twisted, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, you know, as I said last time, good on Riley for, you know, getting straight on it.
Yeah.
And like suing.
Yeah.
Good on it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, she's going to protect Graceland 100%. You know, because of her mother, because of her dad, and obviously because as well, it's a good source of income for her as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, and also, I just want to say this too. Riley's 35, which is kind of close to my age group, which is encouraging and should be encouraging for maybe the older folk who say that like the younger generation don't like Elvis or whatever. Well, I mean, just look at what Riley's done.
Yeah.
It's continuing to do.
Yeah.
If that's not encouraging, I don't know what is.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Right. Hopefully you'll be back next week with another Elvis tale, I hope, because I want to use that jingle again.
I will rack what limited brains I have got, and I will come up with a good one for you.
Okay. And if you need to supply any photos, you can supply photos already.
I will.
Okay. We'll actually, you know what? We'll close off with the jingle again. Dylan's Elvis Tales. Cheers, Dylan.
There we go.
Okay, bye. So what do you think of that? Dylan's Elvis Tales. And the guitar that Elvis used in Loving You is up for sale, but he's a little bit dubious about it. Let's go to Vincenzo, I think. Hi, Vincenzo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi there. You're a little bit echoey, but we'll carry on. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. Well, what would you like to say?
Oh, I just want to say, like Dylan says, it's funny how the guy's bragging about it.
Yes, I think there's something. I think there's. Yeah, I mean, what would you vote in the poll? Do you think the emails from the Graceland scammer are genuine?
No, I think they're not genuine.
You think they're not genuine? You're a no, are you? You think it's just somebody messing around? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be right, actually. All right, Vincenzo.
Nice talking to you, Steve.
Nice talking to you. Bye. And without further ado, we go on to let's have a look. Yes, Cam, stand by. How you doing, Cam? Let's see. Let's take you off mute, and then you'll be able to hear me. Hi.
How are you, Steve?
Hey, I'm doing really good.
Good.
So, what do you think about this whole email scammer and him emailing the press?
Steve, I think I touched on it last week. Sweet and short, I wish this kind of stuff would come to an end, really.
I mean, I think this might be the final sort of end of it now. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Graceland try and bring legal action now against the scammers.
My personal opinion with regard to that, Steve, is I would.
Yeah, to sort of set down a marker and stop other people chancing their arm.
create a precedent and make people out there aware of the fact that EPE is a reputable business. They have a legacy to uphold, which they've been doing great for the last 43, 44 years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they should create the precedent to allow people out there to get the message loud and clear that, if it was any other company out there, they would have had lawsuits on their back the size of dinosaurs.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the only thing that they've got to be careful of now is that this so-called Nigerian scammer is not just messing about, and it's a practical joke.
Even if that is the case, Steve, with cyber security being the way it is these days, these guys can get caught out and they can get traced. It's just a case of you need money and you need time, which I think in this case EPE has both.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and I'm sure, as I said earlier, they have a top level lawyers, which some people wouldn't have. I mean, if this had been, somebody that couldn't fight this, they might have lost their home. Just thankfully, Graceland have a very, very good legal team behind them, and they nipped it in the bud.
Yeah, great. Thankfully so. But yeah, my opinion is these guys, whether they be a syndicate or whether they be individual people, they should be taken to task about it, and a precedent should be created to say that, look, this kind of thing is not going to fly.
Yeah. Okay.
There should be legal ramifications.
Very well said. Thanks, Cam.
Thanks, brother. Good
All the
show.
best. Bye-bye. Right, we move on, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say is I can never see this when I first. I'm going to say hi, Brent.
Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Oh my God, yeah, I am. Forgive me if I sound a little weird. I am. I injured my tooth late Friday night, so I am on like pain meds galore right now.
Oh.
And, but this is just as tranquil for me as those meds, this show. And it's always the high watermark of every Elvis week is the way I see it. And
that's very kind.
I think Steve, I think I got to piggyback on what Cam said. It does set a precedence that there is a "you don't screw with us" kind of message being sent loud and clear. Just 100%. Because Riley's in it doesn't mean that there's naivete creeping in through the door. In fact, I think she's going to be as much of an iron-fisted protector of the realm as Priscilla could possibly be, even. And that's a bold statement, but
yeah. I mean, Dylan said it this week, and he also said it last week as well. He's so proud of the way that Riley just nipped it in the bud. She took action straight away and went to her legal team and said, look, this is just not on. Let's stop this now.
Oh, yeah. And I also got to give a great shout out to Cam. I don't know if you've seen it, Steve, but have you ever been to Michael Riker's channel?
No.
He's kind of new in the game. He's been a long time supporter of Leon's channel, my channel. He even watches yours sometimes when he's not working and stuff. He does. It's not an Elvis channel, but it has a lot of Elvis content. And there's a series he has called Rebuilding the Collection, and he had Rick from Elvis A through Z on, and Cam and Dylan both hopped on the episode because the whole episode's about rebuilding the collection. They're talking about the Moody Blue thing, and it was just great. Cam had so many great things to say. Just a great, eloquent speaker. But yeah, you got to check it out, Steve, because it's about a guy rebuilding his Elvis collection. They go in depth into whatever album they're talking about. And yesterday, all these different people hopped on, and that'd be cool if you even hopped on once. It's not my channel, so I'm not doing any self-plugging. I mean, I'm just a fanboy. I'm a total fanboy of this channel. And but I wanted to say it because I didn't get a chance to. I wasn't able to catch the live thing yesterday, but Cam did such an awesome job on there, and I just want to say how awesome it is to have him as part of the Elvis community.
Yes, I agree. Michael was actually on the special you did for the Circle G, I think, wasn't he?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. So what's the name of his channel then?
It's Michael Riker, Michael, and then Riker. And he does a lot of. There's another thing he does called like Top of the Hops, and sometimes they have Elvis countdowns.
Yes,
Like,
yes, that's right.
top. I did a couple of them with him, and I think that'd be cool. Like if you were ever to go on too, Steve, with him, because I think I love different combination of like Elvis personalities mixing the pot a little bit. I think it's exciting. And hint, you're always welcome to come back and do an Elvis music show episode. If you want to do it.
I know. I keep saying to myself, I promise I will. I'll come back on, Brent. I promise.
Permanent invitation, sir. And thank you for doing a great show. And I'm just going to say this. I have a feeling that the next call is going to be amazing.
I was going to say you can see the queue. Yeah. Before you go, do you think the emails from the Graceland sales scammer was genuine or not?
Well, I'm not an aspiring con man, but I've seen enough movies, read enough books. A real good con artist actually doesn't want to be known.
Exactly. I think it's very strange the way he boasts about it. I really do think it's very strange. You keep your cards close to your chest. You don't start boasting about it.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think in this multimedia, social media frenzy we're in attention-seeking kind of narcissism is at an all-time high.
Yeah, true. Brent,
so he got his 15 minutes. So
he got his 15 minutes of fame, is right. Yeah, thanks, Brent. All the best.
All right, take it easy.
Cheers. Bye. That was Brent from Elvis Nation. Say it every week. If you get chance, please check out his YouTube channel. Now, yes, I'm very excited about this next call, and I know why Brent said he was excited about it. It's young Danielle, who I was talking about earlier on, who signed the wall for me. And stand by, Danielle, because I'm coming to you now. She was in Memphis last week. Hello, Danielle.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, I'm excited to talk to everybody about Graceland.
Yes, now we saw your photographs on Discord, and I showed the photograph of you signing the wall for me at the start of the show, and I'm very excited to hear about it. So away you go. How long were you there for?
We got there Friday afternoon, and we stayed through the weekend and came back Monday night to Texas. I live in Texas.
Right. Oh, yeah. So how long did it take to get there? Did you fly or drive?
If you don't stop, it's about 7. No, we drove.
Right.
We were debating about flying, but then I would have to, rent a car because I want to go to Sunday Studio and drive around. So we decided to just drive, and we're gonna take the kids because I want to be able to enjoy the whole experience. I don't think my kids, they are 11 and 9, would appreciate.
Yeah, I mean they really have to be into Elvis, or they would just kind of be bored, wouldn't they? You can understand that, of course.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to spend that kind of money if they're not going to enjoy. They may change one day, but it was a good experience for me. It was my birthday, May 21st, and my husband surprised me and take me to Graceland.
So tell us about it. Did you walk up to the meditation garden first before you went into the mansion, or did you go to the mansion and then the meditation garden?
I went to the mansion. I was surprised to see how many people were there. It was busy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people waiting to go in. A lot of people in the VIP line. That's the package that we purchased, and it felt a little bit rushed because they kept telling us, no video. You cannot come back to this area. So we knew that we had to take pictures and leave because there were a lot of people right behind us and you have to be considerate,
Yes.
It was a busy weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend for us. So it was a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned that's one of the busiest weekends in Graceland. So I didn't know.
And
from the moment that we got inside the guest house, it was Elvis music, Elvis. It was just a happy place. I felt like I was in the Disney World Elvis type thing. You're just happy.
I also saw a picture you posted where every night they'd give you, was it jelly and peanut butter sandwiches for free, yeah?
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly with chocolate milk
Oh, lovely.
at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. as long as supplies last, and every night, at least 1 hour, I would see people standing there. So it was a lot. It was not just, they gave a lot of peanut butter and jelly away. And I think most nights I saw people standing there until 10:15 p.m.
Yeah.
And they also have free movies, 8 a.m. 8 p.m. My only complaint was the movies that they were showing for free are the ones that you can find easily on the YouTube channels or some of these apps. I was hoping to see something like Tickle Me, Double Trouble, Change of Habit. Those that are so
Yeah.
hard to find.
Um,
It was just really good. Even my husband, that he is now, I can say that he's becoming an Elvis fan. He was really surprised how much he enjoyed the whole
yeah.
experience.
Yeah. It's like when I took my wife
Yeah.
to the Direct from Graceland exhibition in London. She was very, very, impressed with how well it was done and how interesting it was. She found, I mean, she's only a very, very casual Elvis fan. So, I think sometimes these people just, don't realize just how interesting it is and how big Elvis was, and they get into it. I mean, I've heard of people getting into Elvis after the Baz Luhrmann movie as well.
That was me, right? I knew about him. I knew some of his songs, but I had no idea how much he had contributed to the music and how hard he worked. Because I feel like Elvis knew he was not going to be here for too long. Just like I read somewhere that Lisa Marie knew she was not going to be here for too long.
Mm-hmm.
So those people, I feel like they rushed through life, like, let's get this done because I don't have much
Well,
left, you know?
Elvis certainly probably he lived about 3 or 4 lifetimes in those 42 years. He squeezed so much in. A question I want to ask you actually was the wooden boardings up at the meditation garden when you went?
Actually, because you mentioned something in the beginning of the show, I went back and I was to double check, but there was no construction last
Oh,
weekend.
right, okay.
Yeah.
And the boarding
But definitely there was nothing there. No boarding, no stairs. I mean, no letters, nothing indicating that there was a construction to
right,
go
okay.
on. It's a beautiful property. I got to see some horses
Oh, yes.
that some people have mentioned that they don't see any. And the jumpsuit room, it took my breath away. Walking the record ball, because I knew he had played there. It made me feel like he was so real. Those walls that you could see the house from being outside, I could not believe how low they were at some point, that people could just jump in.
Yeah.
And so it made sense that people would spend hours and hours just to maybe see, to try to see him. Because if you go to Hollywood, which I have been, those people's houses, you don't see nothing. The walls are so high.
Yeah.
You don't see nothing besides wall. And Elvis was available to people.
Yeah, Elvis was
You were there to see him.
Yeah, Elvis was
He would let you.
always available to the fans. You went to Sun Studio as well, I take it?
Yes, I recommend if anybody plan to go to Memphis, make the day to go to Sun Studio.
Yeah.
It was a history right there, and nothing has changed. I believe when they say that nothing has changed. The walls, the floor, the instruments, everything is just the same. Elvis walked through those walls, and Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And we know a lot of famous people have been there to record music. So
yes, that's right. They do. Yeah.
It's priceless. It's really priceless. And it's $15 to the ticket to go in.
It's very reasonable, isn't it? $15 when you think about it.
Really cheap. I mean, compared to how things are, nowadays, everything is so expensive. And I didn't know that Duke Phillips, the radio station where he played That's All Right Mama, was there. I had no idea. Nobody ever had mentioned that. I don't recall seeing in any documentary. But the tour guide told us that the hotel was demolished, but they were able to pull that out and place. And they attached this building to the Sun Studio. We all know it's a small building.
Yes, it is.
It's like all together. So, and upstairs they put it together where it says "Do It Phillips," and it tells the history how he played "That's All Right, Mama." And that was a nice surprise, and be able to walk in those, be in the same place as Elvis was just amazing. And knowing that he walked there, I don't know. I still feel like I'm floating when.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. It's actually
I feel like I need to go back again.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, are you going to go back again?
I will. It takes time, planning, and
yes, of course. Yes, of course it does.
I probably want to go in the Elvis week. One year. I want
it'll be very, very.
Whoever's left.
Yeah, it'll be very, very busy that week. That's the busiest week, obviously, of the whole year, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's my idea when I mentioned about going to my husband. That's why he booked for this month, was because I hadn't said I would like to go to the Elvis week, but for the first time I want to go when it's not as busy, because I know Elvis week is just really busy, and I hope that there is more development. The guest house was a big place, but it felt crowded at times, and there is room to spend Graceland. There isn't, honestly, on that Elvis Boulevard, besides Elvis, Graceland and the exhibition, there is nothing else going on.
And tell me, what about the exhibition? The exhibition, the exhibition halls. What are they like? Are they busy as well?
No, it was not as busy.
Okay.
Because there's a lot more space, right? The house is you just walking through the hallways, and you have to follow. You cannot just go back. In the exhibition, you're free to just walk around, jump to a next room. We were there for almost 6 hours.
Oh wow!
Looking and taking pictures and enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have restaurants, so I was like, let's take a break because I don't want to be rushing because I'm feeling hungry. Let's go eat and then come back and finish. The place closes at 5:30.
Oh, so right.
We were there until 5:15 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the food good?
And I mean, it's really good. So I was actually surprised. We got to eat most of the time at the guest house or the Graceland exhibition, because Memphis is not safe. And a lot of people told me, don't be walking around, and at moments it could be. We saw a couple homeless people, and unfortunately, that's the reality.
Yeah. Well, that's everywhere, unfortunately. Yeah.
We try to stay indoors, and in the guest house, the parking is safe too. You have to have be a guest to go in. So we felt secure there, and I think they did a great job with the guest house. There is some remodeling needed. I noticed that I think is 8 years old now.
Yeah.
I don't know who is managing the property. I don't know if Priscilla is still involved, somewhat, but there is some remodeling that needs to be done in the hotel. But that was a great idea. It's a walking distance to the mansion.
Yeah.
If you want to be there 7:30 when it's free to the public, it's very convenient to go outside, and it's right beside Graceland.
That's right. It's literally right next door. Did you walk up to the meditation garden at 7:30 in the morning?
No, I did not. Next time I will.
Yeah,
it's a vacation time.
Yeah.
I started a new job, so it was a catch-up sleep time for me.
Yeah. I remember going up at 7:30 in the morning. It was very, very, very peaceful. I could just hear the tinkling of the fountain and the tweeting of the birds, and it was very, very peaceful. I actually broke down. Actually, it was that sort of emotional that time. So I recommend that.
Stay there, like a lot of people when we went was around noonish. Was already kind of hot in Memphis.
Yeah.
But people just stand there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful garden. It's hard to believe that he has been gone for so long.
It's hard to
People still following.
yeah, it's hard to
And
believe he went
loving
so
Elvis.
young as well, didn't it? You know, I mean, 42 is
Yeah,
no
I
age
hate
whatsoever.
that. I think we all hate that. I even said that before. It's just the fact that we all wish that he had lived longer.
Yeah. Well, Danielle, thanks very much for coming on and sharing your memories of the trip. And I would recommend anybody who hasn't seen the photos to go onto the Discord channel, join our Discord channel, and go onto the thread, and you'll see all the photographs that Danielle posted. They really are very, very good. Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah.
Thanks very, very much.
I wish that I was just trying to allow people who had never been, and sharing with people who loves Elvis makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you
have
did.
not shared with my friends because they don't know why I love Elvis so much. But with you guys, I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have. There's no explanation necessary.
Hey, and I just want to add one more thing. As I mentioned, it was my break, and I did send you a mug. I'm hoping that will make to you.
Very
And,
kind.
for my surprise this weekend, somebody gave me a mug. And when I opened the box, it's exactly the same one that I bought for you.
I'm really looking forward to this. It's very kind. I'm going to show it on the show when I get it, because Danielle is.
I don't want to show because I want it to be a surprise.
Yes,
I was shocked that my friend, without knowing, got me the same one. So I'm excited for that.
Very good. All right, Danielle, thanks very, very much again. Thanks for coming on. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yes, Danielle, who has been this last week to Graceland and Memphis and Sun Studios and everything. Great shots on the Discord channel. I'm going to stand by Leon, and I'm going to see if I can just say hi, Leon.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Not bad. Great show, Paul. I have massive shout out to Danielle. What a great call that was. I mean, honestly.
And did you see the photographs? Great photographs as well.
Oh, tremendous.
I was so envious of her. I really was, because it's been ages since I've been.
Yeah, I mean, it's envious. Anybody, even if you've been before, and anybody else goes, you still feel that envy that they're there and you're not. So. Yeah,
exactly. So
what a great call.
What would you like to say, sir?
Well, first of all, I didn't get a chance to phone in last week about the same subject last week because there was too much noise around the house last week. So I couldn't get to talk to you. But I have to be honest, when the story first broke and I first heard about it, I really wasn't that concerned, to tell the truth, because when you consider how much money they were looking for, and then you look at the turnover from EPE, you think, nah. I mean, that's not opinion. That's just counting. I mean, it's simple. It's just counting. So I really, and of course, it soon blew over after a few days, and then of course we get this about the scammer. Now, it's all about what you want to believe. What road you want to take on that. I mean, some of these scammers are very, very sophisticated, and for all that technology improves and the detection improves, some of these scammers, the way they operate, improves as well.
Yeah.
But just as at the start of the story, we just have to have faith in the strength of the legal team at EPE and the authorities in the US, that they will be able to investigate this properly and just do what they have to do. Because it is detracting a wee bit away from Elvis, the person, and his musical legacy, and why he's so important to us. I mean, don't get me wrong, the fact that we were so concerned about this full stop, it just shows the affection that we all have for Elvis.
Yeah.
But we just have to sit back now, and we just have to let the legal team within EPE and the authorities in the US just try and get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether you heard me say last week that when I first read the story, I laughed and chuckled to myself. But now, now the dust has settled, I'm thinking, actually, it's not as funny as I first thought, because, it could have done a lot of harm, and these people need to be taken care of. They need to be warned, and it needs to be put out there that they've been warned, and even maybe sued as well to stop it happening again.
Well, the funny part of the hilarity is definitely about the fact that they had the fact, as I said before, you consider the turnover from EPE and the money they were looking for. However, the point you did make that was right on the money is the fact that the next time it might not be Graceland, it might not be EPE, it could be somebody who's unaware, because these scammers always tend to target the vulnerable. How sophisticated they've got now is that some of the email addresses that they send you look genuine, and the only difference can be that one of the letters, just let's take Amazon as an example.
Yeah.
One of the letters within that email address could be an italic.
Yes, that's
You
right.
don't notice. That's how sophisticated it's got. And if not everybody is tech savvy.
No.
Knows what they're looking for. So today it was EPE. Next week it could be somebody who can just afford to pay their mortgage and no more.
That's right. I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, you're quite correct. They are very, very, very subtle now in getting through and even bypassing some of this sort of the spam detection that people have on their emails and things like that. So it is quite worrying. So not, initially I laughed, but now when I think about it, it can be quite worrying actually.
Sobering is the word I would use. Sobering. Very
sobering. Yeah. But do you think that we've heard from the real scammer, or do you think they were just messing around? This fella from who claims to be from Nigeria.
Well, I grew up here in the 80s when for example, when the IRA were planting bombs in outside prominent buildings in England, and if it wasn't them, somebody else would try and make a claim on it. So this isn't a new thing. The same thing happens when bombings went off in the Middle East, when there was always somebody quite happy to try and take credit for it. Same when the Lockerbie bombing happened. Within minutes of it happening, there were about 3 or 4 different groups that tried to take responsibility for it because it looked good. And this could be exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
It could be genuine, it might not be. I suspect that it is an opportunist, but I've got nothing to back. Unlike the feeling I had about the fact that the whole thing was a sham to start with.
Yeah.
This is nothing more than feeling. I have nothing to back this.
Exactly. I mean, I said last week it's probably got a little bit more to run, and we could, there could be in the coming months, a lawsuit when they track down the person. It's just, as I said to earlier callers, why are they boasting about it? Most of the time these scammers, they don't boast, they just get on and scam. It's a very strange. But the person is being very boastful, aren't they?
It's quite possible that it's some sort of it's a hacker, and other hackers will know who he is, and they are just all applauding within each other.
Yeah.
He's put his head above the parapet, and I very much, if that's the case, I very much doubt that he's even done it. He's just trying to look good to his other hacker friends. To be honest.
Yeah. Did you vote on the poll?
I did.
What did you vote?
I voted that when I first thought about it, I thought I'll vote it. I'll vote that it's genuine, but no, I don't. I came around a wee bit on that.
Okay.
But I'll tell you something else I want to mention on the back of something that
yes, please.
Yeah. So he was talking about Michael Riker there.
Yeah.
So the good thing about the Elvis community is that we all have our own channels, and we all have our own way, and of course there's room for everybody here. We want to keep Elvis's legacy alive, and that's the most important thing to us.
Yes.
And the reason I mentioned Michael's is that I just recorded a show with him this afternoon.
Okay.
I think from what Michael was telling me, that should be up on his channel maybe next week or the week after. And we had a great time, we had an absolute great time. Michael's a lovely guy. He really is, and he's very knowledgeable too.
Yeah.
So that's something else to look forward to, because it's all important that we don't compete with each other. We all work together. Because there is enough competition within the Elvis community without all of us adding to that. We should all work together and try and keep Elvis's musical legacy alive, because as the years go on, it gets harder and harder to get new fans, because Elvis gets further and further away. Elvis is different because of what he's left behind, because of what he was, that he still have younger fans. There aren't many artists from Elvis's period who have so many younger fans. And this is something that we have to try and keep, and we have to try and encourage, because we can't let the average age of the Elvis fan keep rising and rising and rising, because eventually there will be none left. And then that will then mean is things like what happened last week will not matter, because there will be nobody left to care.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So-
I can't add anything to that, because that was just perfect what you've just said. It really is.
But listen, honestly, keep doing what you're doing, Steve. Honestly, brilliant show, great show. Always good to listen in on a Sunday night.
I appreciate your support, and I do agree 100%. As long as the channel is respectful and promoting Elvis respectfully, then I will support it 100%. The only ones I get angry with are the ones that try and either take advantage of Elvis or make him look silly, or keep on about, his health issues, or, the last couple of years, that he was terrible looking, or he was fat and all this and all that. Those are the ones I have no time for.
Well, do you know, Steve, you hit a kind of sore point with me there, because if you're going to talk about that, now, there's nothing wrong if you're talking about the fact that Elvis had put on weight, if you put it in context.
Yes.
I mean, okay, for example, as you get older, we put on weight. It's normal. Now, these days, if somebody had started in the 1980s or the 1990s, the start of their career, and they were stick thin and very, very good looking, just like Elvis, and then you get to around about 2020s, so same sort of career span as Elvis, and you'd put on a fair bit of weight, nobody would care.
That's right.
Why is Elvis treated differently?
It's something that's always puzzled me. It's almost like people think that Elvis shouldn't have got old. He shouldn't have put on weight. It was almost like he was on that pedestal, and when he showed his human frailties, people almost got annoyed by it.
That's everybody. What I think, and what I firmly believe, is that as Elvis got older and his musical tastes changed, what these people who either had liked or disliked Elvis in the early days suddenly saw, as Elvis got older, his appearance changed, and his musical output became more mature, that their youth was getting left behind, and this made them more aware of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what it is. Now, virtually no other artist was vilified for moving to what we might call middle of the road. Now, people use the term middle of the road music as a put down, but it's not a put down.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest music ever has been in that sort of area. Now, I was talking to somebody the other day there, and we're talking about the Boulevard album, and I'm saying, okay, it's not the same material, that it's very downbeat album, and it's not the sort of material that Elvis was recording even years before. And a lot of people were saying that he should be still putting out rock and roll. This, of course, these are the reviews around the time. But we have to remember, Elvis had been in the business for the best part of over 20 years now. He'd done his time. He'd had all the awards. He'd had all the acclaim. He was now in a position where he could record whatever he wanted to record.
Yes, yeah.
It's not for anybody else to say otherwise.
I've toyed with the idea of doing a special or a topic on the live show on the Jungle Room sessions as well, because I think they're a highly misunderstood sessions by casual fans. And as you say, okay, they were downbeat, but there was also some really, really good music that came out of those Jungle Room sessions.
Oh, absolutely right. And let's remember that when Sony brought out the Jungle Room Sessions set, that was kind of the precursor to everything else. We've had the Stax and the Nashville stuff. That was kind of the first one. The critics were overflowing with praise for that set.
Yeah.
And yet they look on the Boulevard album and Moody Blue as not the best, but things always get looked better at in hindsight, and I have to say that Sony have done a better job now than RCA did certainly in the 70s as far as the output's concerned. I think, but we need to keep encouraging. We need to keep building our channels. We need to get it out to as many people as possible so that we have another generation that can come in and keep Elvis's music. Because Elvis's legacy will only stay alive as long as there are fans to keep it alive.
Exactly. Couldn't agree 100% with you. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, Leon, as you know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what you do so well every Sunday, Steve. So
thanks.
Keep doing that.
Thanks very much. Thanks for your support, Leon. I could speak to you for another 3 hours. I really could. We must do a podcast together one day.
Listen, you know where I am. Anytime you like.
All right, matey. Cheers now. Bye-bye. What a great call by Leon. Well, actually, what a great call from everybody tonight. So thanks very, very much to all the callers. I'm really made up about that. I thought they were real great callers this week. But however, time is marching on, so we must move on. This day in Elvis history. Yes. This day in Elvis history. As I say every week, if there's a particular day that's a red letter day for you or a birthday, actually Danielle was saying that it was her birthday last week, so if it's your birthday today, you want to know what Elvis was doing on June the 2nd down through the years, well, I'm going to tell you now, and I'm going to show you a few pictures as well. 1952, a big day actually, 1952, because Elvis graduated from Humes High School in Memphis, Tennessee. He was the first of both Presley and Smith families to do so. And it's a bit of a strange picture, that one there, because none of them in that photograph look happy. They all look very, very solemn, unfortunately. Maybe they were told they can't smile. I don't know. Maybe it's like, what they tell you on your passport photograph. You can't smile. But that was on this day in 1952. 1954, Elvis delivered supplies to a job site for Crown Electric for $1 an hour. Amazing how much his life was going to change in the next few years. $1 an hour. 1955, Elvis performed at the Municipal Auditorium, Amarillo, Texas. And I found this photograph, which is taken from the stage of the Municipal Auditorium in Amarillo. So that's the sort of the view that Elvis would have had on this day in 1955. 1956, Elvis and Gene Smith flew to Oakland, California, where they arrived at 4 a.m. and met with the band who drove the whole way. This was obviously for rehearsals for the upcoming appearance on the Milton Berle show on the 5th. Hot alert, girls, and men, if you want to just get ready for this. But on this day in 1957, Jailhouse Rock, and Elvis filmed the scene in the prison coal yard. There we are. Okay. A bare-chested Elvis. There's another one. I was on this day in 1957. 1958, Elvis is on leave at Graceland. Elvis in his driveway becomes a photo for A Date with Elvis LP. Let me show you those photographs. Wow, he looks good, doesn't he, in uniform? Yes, he does. That's nearly the one that was used for A Date with Elvis. That's the one. There you go. A Date with Elvis LP in the driveway of Graceland. That's on this day in 1958. That's just one of the back of Elvis's head. And another one, all taken. I think that's red in the passenger seat. Now, 1960, 1962, and 1965. 60 was GI Blues. 62 was Girls, Girls, Girls. 65 is Frankie and Johnny. He was making those movies, working on those movies. These are great photographs coming up here now. 1968, Elvis and Priscilla returned from Hawaii to Los Angeles. He was there getting a tan for the TV special. That looks like he's holding a Bloody Mary in his hand. Imagine being on a flight and Elvis walking up and down the aisles and signing autographs. She looks pleased. There's Priscilla. Why don't I ever get that lucky, being on a flight with Elvis? 1973, Elvis's live version of Steamroller Blues hits number 17 in the US of A. 1975, we have Elvis performed at the Municipal Auditorium, Mobile, Alabama at 2:30 and 8:30 p.m. He wore the chief suit. I think Vincenzo posted that photograph there with Charlie Hodge in the background on the Discord channel, the Elvis picture of the day. He wore different suits, obviously, for 2:30 and 8:30. That's the Silver Phoenix. Feast your eyes on those. Okay, 1976. Elvis performed at the Civic Center Coliseum, El Paso in Texas. A couple of black and white shots there. There he is leaving. There's Red in the back seat. Dave Hebler, Dick Grobe, I think, and obviously a driver. Now, 1977. Elvis performed at the Municipal Auditorium, Mobile, Alabama. And there it is. Great color shots. I'm just looking there, 1975, Municipal Auditorium, Mobile, Alabama as well. So 2 years exactly to the day. After the show, Elvis returned to Memphis. And there's a shot here, Elvis leaving the building with Dr. Nick and Ginger Alden coming up. Just be patient and it will come round. There you go. Dr. Nick on the extreme left, Ginger in the middle, and of course, can't miss Elvis with the jumpsuit on. So that was this day in Elvis history, down through the years, June the 2nd. Now, Photoshop. Sorry to put you through this, folks, but this is basically it. And this is Elvis's head, photoshopped onto Joseph Hall's, body. Joseph Hall. Couldn't read that there for a second. So there's the with Elvis's head, and then there's the original ETA Joseph Hall. Okay, and number 3 is the 3 together, and you can actually, if you look closely, you probably can't make it out on the screen, but you can see that Joseph Hall's chin is still showing underneath Elvis's neck there. So that's you can maybe just see it there, just above Elvis's collar on his neck. You can just see a faint white line. So that's this week's Photoshop. And if you've got any Photoshops, you can send them in to me, and I can get annoyed about those because I, as you can gather, I don't actually like Photoshops. We're going to do Elvis at the piano in a second, but I just want to remind you of the poll, and it is, do you think the emails from the Graceland for sale scammer are genuine, or do you think it was somebody just messing around? And as Brent said, his 15 minutes of fame, he wanted to get his 15 minutes of fame. So it's very, very simple. Yes, you do think they were genuine. No, definitely not, just somebody messing around, or you're not sure yet, and you need to know more. And I do believe that we are going to learn more in the next few weeks and months about it. And I probably will revisit it in a few weeks or months' time. But this will probably be the last show about it for a while anyway, because there's no point in beating it into the ground. Unless something really astounding happens next week, in the coming week. And I will cover that, of course. Elvis at the piano. Yeah. This is chosen by Kendra Mercury on this YouTube channel, and the song is A Mess of Blues, a song recorded by Elvis for the 1960, written by Doc Pomus and Mort Schumann. Although released as the B-side to It's Now or Never, A Mess of Blues reached number 32 in the US and number 2 in the UK as an A-side. The recording also appeared on the 1968 RCA Victor compilation, Elvis Gold Records. So we've got, there it is there, Mess of Blues, It's Now or Never. And then it also appeared on Volume 4 of Elvis Gold Records. And thanks to Kendra for sending that in, and that's her choice for Elvis at the piano. I can imagine Elvis attempting this and accompany himself on the piano, although it was quite a honky-tonky sort of piano. I'm not sure whether Elvis's piano playing was up to that sort of thing, but he would have had a good stab at it, I'm pretty sure. I'll put a link below for those who are unfamiliar with the Mess of Blues, and you can also let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Caption the photo. Caption the photo, yes. We do this, I post it on the community tab on this channel every Tuesday-ish, and I ask you to leave a funny comment. By the way, just to let you know, if there is a tune that you wish that Elvis had sat down at the piano and accompanied himself singing it, please send it in. You can send it in to elvistheultimatefanchannel@gmail.com, or as you can see, those other social media outlets if you follow me on those. So yeah. And caption. It was this was the funny caption photo. I'm not 100% sure what was going on here, whether Elvis was practicing his salute or not. I'm not too sure. What was it got? Elvis, even if I hold you like this, I can still feel those good vibrations that have all those girls going wild in the country. That's very, very clever, because basically they've got two Elvis movie titles in there, Girls, and Wild in the Country. So that was quite clever. I plead innocent of all charges is another one. All I could do was stand there paralyzed. Bend me, shape me any way you want me. That's how I will be. Again, somebody there is just working in an Elvis song title. Seriously, Elvis, I thought you had this hip wiggle down pat. But with 13 likes, it's Otrilia. Well done, Otrilia. And here comes the Colonel. Lady, act serious and busy. So that was the winning one. And we give Otrilia a round of applause. Thanks to everybody that sent in and left their comments on the YouTube channel on that very strange picture. I still think he's almost like he's sort of, trying to figure out how to salute. Yeah, I haven't got a year on that photo. If anybody can actually help me with a year, it would help. Yeah, I would like to ask you, if you haven't already, to subscribe by clicking the red subscribe button and also clicking the bell, turning it black and selecting all option. Just revisiting do you think the emails from the Graceland for sale scammer were genuine? We are still running that poll. You can vote on it for another few minutes, and you can see the three options: yes, no, not sure, you need to know more. A song I wish Elvis had recorded. Yes. Sent in by April. And it's this one. As I say, you can send in your underrated songs, Photoshop, smoking hot photos, songs you wished Elvis had sung live, funny caption photos and all that. Send those in to me as well. And Discord as well. If you still haven't joined our Discord channel, there is an invite link below this video. Click on it and join in the fun. We do have a lot of fun on that Discord channel. There's Elvis photo of the week. There's Elvis chat. There's a YouTube, so you can actually check out my YouTube postings. And there's even an off topic as well. So if you want to chat to somebody, but you don't want to talk to them about Elvis, you can go on to that thread. So please do join the Discord channel. And if you want to see smoking hot photos, you'll see plenty on there. So yes, a song I wish Elvis had recorded by April. Thanks, April, for sending it in. It is Fire, a song written by Bruce Springsteen in 1977, which had its highest profile as a 1978 single released by the Pointer Sisters. The song was also released by Springsteen himself. Bruce envisioned Fire as a song which could be recorded by his idol, Elvis. Of course, yes. It was written after he saw Elvis perform on May 28, 1977 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Springsteen said, "I sent Elvis a demo of it, but unfortunately he died before it arrived." What a pity. Yes, what a pity. So that's the song April wishes Elvis had got to record. I'll leave a link below, and I'd love to see your comments about it in the comment section, which is below this video. I can definitely hear Elvis singing that song, without a doubt. And I'm sure to this day, Bruce is very, very sad that Elvis didn't get the chance and he left us so soon. Yeah. So, and again, I will say, if you want to send in those songs, please do. I'll look through them and see which ones I can use. We've got underrated Elvis song coming up next. I will remind you one more time about the poll. Do you think the emails from Graceland for the sales scammer are genuine? Yes, no, or not too sure. I'll be closing that in a few seconds after underrated Elvis song, suggested by our very own Chris R. I'm not sure if Chris is watching live. She'll probably watch on catch up because she always says if she misses the live one, she tries to watch on catch up. So thanks for sending this in, Chris. It's Let's Forget About the Stars. Yeah, recorded for the movie Charo, but not used. I'd say it's not only a very underrated song, but it's not a very well-known song outside the core fans, the Elvis fans. The instrumental track for this song and the title track were recorded on Stage 7 of the Samuel Goldwyn Studios, Hollywood, California, on Tuesday, October the 15th, 1968. But Elvis didn't record his vocals until well over a month later, on Monday, November 25th, by which time he'd already begun work on his next movie, The Trouble with Girls, and How to Get Into It. I always put that on the end of it. On that Monday in November, he whizzed through it in just 5 takes, and Charo took 9 takes before Elvis was satisfied. As I've already said, Let's Forget About the Stars was recorded for Charo but never used, and was first released on the Camden compilation LP, Let's Be Friends, which hit the stores in April 1970. The album was certified gold on June 15th, 1999, and platinum on January the 6th, 2004 by the Recording Industry Association of America. A nice Elvis track, totally unknown, I should imagine, to non-Elvis fans. Beautiful piano and lovely soft vocals by Elvis. Such a beautiful and underrated ballad from a tucked away on a budget album. And that's Chris's underrated Elvis song. Do you agree? I agree. If you agree or don't agree, leave your comments in the section below. And of course, I'll leave a link as well for Let's Forget About the Stars, just in case you're not familiar with it. Right, this is going to be coming up. Smoking Hot Photo of the Week. But not yet. It's just, I played that just to remind you that it's coming up. So don't go away, because I'm going to close the poll. I want to see what the poll is, the results. Oh, why won't it let me? I don't know why it won't let me. I have no idea why it won't let me close it. Oh, there you are. I do that every week. I have to kind of almost like triple click on it. Yes, I think it was genuine 14%. No, 56%. And not sure yet. I need to know more, 30%. So, yeah, that's quite a lot of no's of people don't think it's genuine. Although 13% only said yes, and there's quite a few people sitting on the fence. 30% are saying, I need to know more. And I believe that those 30% will not be disappointed, because I don't think the story is done and dusted yet. I still think there's a little bit more to come out on that. So are we ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the smoking hot photo? This is it. And as far as I remember, I think somebody sent this in to me, called Shani. Thanks very much, Shani, for sending that in. It's almost like, is that lady trying to sort Elvis's collar out, or is she trying to sort out his earrings? Well, Elvis didn't have earrings as far as we know, but I love the side eye that Elvis has given the cameraman. It's almost like, hey man, don't annoy me taking photographs while I'm talking to this pretty lady. But just look at that hair, those lips as well, says Mrs. EAP Elaine. Those lips, that hair, wow. Jenny O'Connell, oh. Doreen, oh yeah. Yes, she's having a good time. That young lady is definitely having a good time. But I could nearly have used that as a caption, this photo, because I'm wondering what she's doing to him there. I really am. Wow, so gorgeous. Lucky lady, says Sally Billing. Yes, she is. Dolores says hot lips. Yeah. I'm just wondering what is going on there. Drop dead gorgeous, says Valvis. I might use that in a few weeks' time for a caption. This. I had such a really, really great time this week. The callers were just fabulous. Thanks to everybody that called in. And thanks to everybody that took part in the quiz. And everybody that's commented. And if you do like what I've done, then you can buy me a coffee. You can scan the QR code or use the link below. But until next week, take it away, Al.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.